sexual impropriety, conflicts with in-laws, financial difficulties, and different aspirations. These are some of the common stressors causing marriages to break down in Singapore, and among them, the deal breaker is an extramarital affair, which falls under sexual impropriety. This is according to an inaugural research study by the Institute of Policy Studies.
The couples in our study who were going through or who were really contemplating divorce, they tended to be in that stage where sometimes there was a third party or some kind of extramarital kind of relationship. When that happened, trust level was very low in the relationship, and I think both partners, had great difficulty deciding whether they wanted to stay on that relationship when they felt that conflicted with some other relationship.
Another form of sexual impropriety is when one discovers his or her spouse watching pornography. However, sexual impropriety isn't the only trigger for couples to file for a divorce. A build-up of other conflicting issues could also cause a marriage to break down.
One of them being the fact that both partners had kind of begun to lead somewhat separate lives. They'd stay in the same house, but they have their own interests, they have their own life, and their communication with each other is very often very conflicting. And there tends to be a lot more of the strain and stress in that relationship. Then that kind of pushes it when they feel, it's time to call it quits.
The study on marriage was commissioned by Marriage Central, a one-stop resource centre promoting strong and healthy marriages under the National Family Council. In one segment, 100 married couples were interviewed. The findings showed that the women were more likely to notice signs of marriage trouble compared to men, and that they found it harder to trust their husbands.
Women tended to have more difficulty trusting their partner, especially if they knew that there was some kind of extramarital kind of relationship. Then, of course, that first stage of trying to always be suspicious and check on them and always kind of worried that they're with somebody else. Those things would become a lot more difficult for women.
Another segment surveyed 408 married people during door-to-door visits, and more than half of them indicated that they had at some point considered leaving their spouses. But interestingly, none of them did. In fact, none of the 508 randomly selected respondents opted for a separation or divorce. In the next clip, we find out why Singaporean couples choose to iron out their differences and remain in their marriages.